Okay.
We go, he puts the voucher, he's like, let's put it on red. We see that shit spin, black. We lost. What's up, guys? It's your boy Hypey and your boy.
Innovate.
I gotta think of a way to like do that better. I always change it up every time. And it's your boy's Idol Podcast episode, what, eight, seven,
I think we're on
eight,
8,
eight? Oh,
by
damn.
the way. Yeah.
Damn, more than a week. Let's go. Today, we're gonna be talking about gambling. It's a fun episode time, fun
Yay!
episode.
Woo!
We love gambling. Gambling
We do.
is
Like,
something that usually gets brought up every time the NFL season starts, specifically. What are your thoughts on gambling in
so
general?
is it gambling season?
It unironically is gambling season right now. It
Okay.
it it's like it might be prime gambling season because this is the time where people are like, "Oh, my favorite team's gonna win." Oh, I know if anyone's GOAT, and then they'll be like, Mahomes got to do that stuff. Like they picture the big names.
Valid. Very valid.
Uh, it's kind of cool because it brings like sports more of a reason to watch. Like, you're watching the
Yeah.
team. Sometimes you'll
Your
watch.
fantasy football format that existed for a very long time all of a sudden is now worth more, or like it's more exciting.
Yeah, like honestly, that's also a good point because fantasy football is usually what gets people into like sports.
Yeah.
Which honestly is like your gateway to gambling. I'll be honest.
Oh no. Okay.
Because
So I'm gonna say what I think about gambling because that's your question, and
yeah,
then you're gonna tell us what gambling is or how it's being run. I guess, right?
yeah, yeah.
Because I do not follow the NFL much, and Hypey is a very big NFL fanboy, right? Okay, so I actually hate gambling, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I've gambled $1,500 and I lost all of it.
I
I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys.
wait.
$1,500 and I
Oh,
lost all of it. I have so much shame in it. I'm not even gonna talk about like how I gambled, but I think in that moment it was enough for me to tell myself, "Hey, don't ever do it again. It's fine." I had my walk of shame in the sense of I just told myself, don't do this ever again. Like, it was embarrassing. It really was. And the craziest part is that no one was really watching me.
mhm.
No one really knew. I didn't tell anyone until this moment.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think it's because it's been so long ago that I really don't feel as embarrassed about it. But, because it's money from so far ago that it doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, I've lost a lot of money. It sucks. And because of that, I will say I have never had any other tendency of wanting to gamble against it.
Right. And it's a shame too because you're due. Like you're about to hit big if you were to go back.
Oh my god.
I'm just joking. Okay. But
You gotta
honestly,
go back now.
honestly, it's kind of insane because that feeling is something some people don't have, and it could be bad or really bad is the issue,
Mm,
right? Like there is no like bad or good. It's just bad overall. So
mm.
let me give an example, right? You lost 1,500. You were like, you know what? I think that's how much the lesson costs. I think I'm good, right?
Yeah.
Which is fair, because I mean, gambling is playing with what you're probably going to
Yeah.
lose, and on average,
Really.
that's what's going to happen. Um, People will claim like they're goaded in the sticks, try to gamble. They'll play blackjack, they'll play the numbers, still come out on
Yeah.
bottom. It's how it is. I have seen both sides to where someone is like, okay, just another quick 100, and I'm like, okay. And like, 100 means a lot to the person, which is interesting because one thing I found like a correlation, it might not be true, right? I just feel like it is that you usually see people who are like usually richer that
Mhm.
don't like gambling.
Yeah.
And people in the lower end are like, to be fair, like $20 would go hard. And don't get me wrong, $20 would go hard. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And that's like kind of the amount I like to use when I'm gambling and I'm playing blackjack. But that's not the point.
Whoa. Okay. Hype, you gotta tell us, how often are you gambling?
Dude, that's the thing. I'm not even doing it too often. I
Cub,
will say, I
we
will
need an
say,
answer. How often?
okay, prime gambling. Unironically, it was like three
Okay,
times a week.
whoa.
3 times a week.
Three. Right now, you are
No,
gambling
no, no,
three
no, no,
times
no.
a
That
week.
was like prime. I don't do it
Okay,
anymore. Not
who
as
are
much.
you now, today, in this moment? How many times are you gambling a week?
I haven't gambled since more than a year ago.
Whoa.
But
So, what are your thoughts on gambling?
okay, I the problem is you're asking the wrong person because I'm personally up, baby. You know what I'm saying? Your boy's up. But like if anytime I think about the trips I've taken to Vegas, prime gambling time, right?
Mhm.
Trying to have a great time, stupid decisions, I always come out on top. But I'll be honest, going back to it,
You're up
s-
$20 or what?
no, no, no. Actually, I've had all my trips paid for. I've had all my Vegas trips paid for. Like that's
No
how positive
way.
I've been. But then I do something stupid like sports betting. I could claim I know sports, but sometimes that shit is just uncontrollable. But that's
Mhm.
that's the thing. That's gambling in general. You know what I mean?
So you're down in total, but in situations where you wanted it to be positive, you've been positive,
In
right?
in total, I have to be down because be honest. You have to be honest with yourself. If
Uh,
someone ever says they're positive in gambling, like in general,
they're lying.
no, why aren't you doing it? Then why aren't you still doing it? You know? Why are
Yeah,
you asking me for $10 when I'm at this Wendy's? You know what I mean? I'm like, bro's not gonna tell me he's winning and he's up in gambling and he's
yeah,
asking me for a spot at Wendy's. You know what I mean? You
exactly.
if you were winning money, you'd pull up your phone, you'd place the bet, and you'd win the ten
You
dollars.
double it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you're
you
like,
double it.
damn. And
Okay,
that's just how it is.
leading up to that conversation, poor people are the ones that this is targeting realistically. I think anyone that's really wealthy just understands that they'd rather do safer things. I think, I believe it's fun money. It's entertainment.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe gambling can be viewed as entertainment, right? And I think a lot of people who have big money, they do view it that way. They
Hmm.
they see it as just, I'm gonna play with my homies and we're gonna place some bets on our NFL fantasy draft, but that's it. Like that's it. That's the bar. There's no more past that. Because to them, it's just a game. It's just a way to, oh, but my $200 or my five hundred
Yeah.
bucks, right? But it's not a lot
Hmm.
comparatively to someone that doesn't have any money and would rather max out their credit cards trying to win it big. And it to them, it's not fun. It's a way to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people don't interpret it that way, or they don't want to acknowledge that they're really thinking about it that way. When I bet $1,500, I was thinking of it as a way to survive. I
Hmm.
really was. It's like I will make money on this decision and I can do so many things that will make my life better.
Hmm.
When someone's playing, it's your play money, double your $500, double your $1,000. Oh, cool! I doubled $1,000, but it's not the goal, right? Your goal would be your profession. Your goal would be your hobby that makes you money
Hmm.
and other things. So I think a lot of these ads that are trying to get people to gamble, they really are targeting the not the not financially literate to just have fun, but they're not targeting the people that are using this fun. They're targeting people that are going to use this as a way to live, because the people that are more willing to give you money are the people that want to survive,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
that's my That's my thoughts on it.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, because um, in a way, people will argue that gambling is to, like you said, make things more fun, right?
Yeah,
When,
which it is, right? We
yeah,
can agree to that.
yeah, and like, for example, you're watching your favorite sports team. You want them to win. You bet on them if you're a
Yeah.
lunatic, low key, and you're like, oh my gosh, dude,
Woo!
if they win, I'm actually winning $20 off of this, and that's how it
Yeah,
starts.
exactly.
Next thing you know, you're like, dude, Dak Prescott needs to do his 37th throw. If he doesn't do his 37th throw and they don't get a field goal before the last 3 minutes in the fourth quarter, then I'm cooked. Then I'm cooked. And also,
Cook.
we need a reverse touchdown across the field in the same time so I can hit my parlay. And you're just like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, the odds of that is like literally worse than hitting the lottery, and you're just gonna win $20 if that happens. And then they're like, go a little crazy though. And don't get me wrong, thinking and watching for those moments, that is hype. Because for a split second, you see the ball on the ground, you see the enemy team recover it. You're like, dude, that is literally what needs to happen. You know?
Yeah.
And um and the thing is, for a lot of people, that's fun. And I went when I went to Vegas, I went with my uncle one time.
Hmm.
He does not like gambling at all. He was very against it. He was just like, I'm here to just
Why'd
hang
you
out
go
with
to
the family.
Vegas?
Our family invited him, and he was just hanging out. He was chilling. And so, like he watched the shows, and we did other stuff, right?
Hmm.
But he had a lot of fun. But one thing that I tried a lot was, hey, you got to at least try it with me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And
No.
and
Okay.
and because I was confused, I was like, "What do you mean you're not even gonna try it like at all?" And
Yeah.
a part of me is like, maybe it's a bad thing because maybe there's a reason he's not.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was just really torn because I wanted my uncle to have a good time, right?
Hmm.
We he would watch me. He was like hanging out with me, and he was watching me like gamble in some of these tables, like learning how the games work and such and this and that. And he's like it's cool, but I'd rather just watch. He's like it's nothing for me. I uh my dad, his brother, he puts a 20 in a slot machine for him, and he tries it, and he's like, I mean, it was cool, but I'm whatever about it, you
Yeah.
know? And we had these free slips that the hotel gave us,
Okay.
and they were like, "Hey, free $20 if you have a room with us." So we had a $20 voucher, and I was like, "Okay, here's what's gonna happen." And for like the next hour, I kept joking with him, theorizing how we were gonna make 1 million by playing roulette and just making big bucks. But the
Okay.
first the first step was putting all 20 in either red or black.
Okay.
Something simple, right?
Okay.
We go, he puts the voucher, he's like, let's put it on red. We see that shit spin, black. We lost. Dude, but it was that 1 hour, like leading up to the moment, was so funny because we were hyping it up. We're like, oh, we're gonna be millionaires in a bit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the reality hits. You're still gambling. And like, don't get me wrong, I was full aware. I was fully aware that we were just gonna lose, right?
No way, bro.
But
Okay.
it's funny because I just leave and I'm like, did you have fun? And he was like, it's okay. And I was like, it's fair. Like, not gambling's not for everybody. But even after that experience, that's still how it goes. So
Do
it's
you would you do it again?
oh yeah, easy. Oh yeah. I I joke about that every time I talk to him. I'm like, remember that time? That was funny. Um, Something I do want to say though is the dangers that NFL does because they s- they advertise like DraftKings and other
Yeah.
apps, and they constantly
That
like throw it
that's what
down.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's they're branding for the poor, bro. And that's what I hate. What I hate more than anything is that think about Klarna, for example. Hey, Klarna, if you ever sponsor me, I'll take the sponsor. But the thing is, Klarna becoming to the point where you can order your Grubhub with Klarna, bro. Like, where are we? How broke is this country, bro, that Klarna has to lend you money. You can't even use your credit card, bro. Klarna is basically designed to make money from broke people. It's literally the business structure of Klarna is that one day you're not going to have the money and you're going to need to give them more money because you didn't have the money. Like, what the fuck, man? It's absolutely crazy to me that that is the world we're currently living in the United States, where people are so poor that the gambling addiction is getting worse because you're more likely to succeed in life if you win it big in a gamble
Mm-hmm.
than to go work. Sorry, we keep making the joke, but work at McDonald's. I keep apologizing because I feel like if I were to work at McDonald's, I wouldn't give a shit. But when people keep shitting on your job, you're thinking, bro, why?
You're
What's the
like,
problem?
hey, bro, chill, chill. There's like
Bro,
so many other. There's so
chill,
many other chains,
chill.
dude. You could say Burger King. No one works at Burger King.
Yeah, dude, there was a fire at my Burger King, my local Burger King last week. It was crazy. Anyways, the point is, it's just as bad as crypto in the sense of giving people that are unaware or uneducated
Yep.
to have this belief that this is my rich strategy. This is my how
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna win it big. And it was interesting because I'm unemployed, so I Uber people right now because it's better to do Uber than to get a 10 like a minimum wage job when you have a master's, which is bullshit, by the way. Anyways, so I was Ubering a guy that was working at a fast food place, not McDonald's. Bummer. But it was okay. And what was interesting is that he's stating what his plan is and how he's planning on becoming wealthier or more successful or setting himself up for success.
Okay.
His version of setting up for success wasn't I'm going to put my money on the S&P 500 and I'm going to wait for that money to start. He said, he didn't say that. He instead said, I'm going to keep putting money on my crypto wallets and I'm going to keep doing my thing. And when he stated that, I realized how shit the economy is that
Hmm.
people don't even believe in the structure. They'd rather believe in something that is not structured, that is literally money that we all agree on the value of. It's real. That's really what crypto is. We all say, hey, this is what it's worth. And we're all trading at that value. And some people are buying higher, some people are buying lower, and that's why it goes up or down. That's it. That is crypto,
It's
right?
it's insane because like it also bleeds into like these people don't know what they're doing, right? Like
Who?
you ask the
Wait,
average
who?
person about crypto, they
Okay.
actually don't even know what they're doing. You ask them about a wallet, you ask them how it works, like the blockchains and such,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
they don't know. They don't know
They
anything.
don't really understand what crypto is, but they believe that it can make them money easily,
Yeah.
right? Okay, another side story. I had once enough Dogecoin or whatever you want to call it, right? That if I hadn't sold it for a profit of like 20 bucks or whatever, at the peak of Dogecoin, I would have had $14,000. I was so sad because I needed that money at that time, right? And, but the point is, the possibility of making a shit ton of money off of one decision, who wouldn't want to indulge on that? Who would not want to say, yeah, I'm so down? Because think about it, the level of skill you need to get to that point is ridiculous, which leads me up to my next point. Pokemon. I actually sell Pokemon. Anyway, side note. But let's not really talk about Pokemon. Really just talk about bull market. Just because we're talking about money and we're talking about
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um let's talk about bull market.
Well,
Right now, anyone that spent money on the S&P 500
mhm.
is a genius because your money keeps going up and up and up and the value of the dollars. So I'm getting distracted.
He's going on a tangent.
The point is, the point is, don't get distracted on these ideas of I'm gonna make a big gamble. Don't get distracted on these ideas that I'm gonna make it big on crypto without understanding crypto. You just got to be careful,
Dude,
really.
essentially all of it like bleeds down to gambling. Like you could say crypto, like they're like, dude, yes, if I put a lot of money in Doge and it goes up to $1, like I'm gonna be a millionaire. And it's like, yes, like you can pull like the best collection in Pokemon and you can become a millionaire. Like yes to all of those things. The problem is that that's the same ideology a lottery ticket has. Are you constantly buying lottery tickets? Well, first of all, I hope not, unless you're doing it for fun. You do you. I'm not going to judge.
Yeah.
Gambling man is not going to give you advice. Anyways, the thing is, like it is the same as winning a lottery ticket. People will get into stock options, people will get into crypto, people are like, I need to become a billionaire by tomorrow. And
Yeah.
essentially they're just investing to an expensive lottery ticket that they don't know. Whether it takes some time before they lose their money, or maybe, sometimes they get the stuff, but like you just gotta be careful with that stuff. And it just bleeds down to um what you were saying earlier, the way they target the week. I genuinely think that's true because um, the NFL bans players they're players that ban on their games.
Mhm.
To be fair, let me go into it because yeah, you should not be betting on a game that you're in. They bet one of the players, Calvin Ridley, he was banned for a year because he bet on a game that he was not in, but he bet on his own team. He bet on his own team. He was not in the game because he was injured, I believe. And then the NFL found out and suspended him for a year. There have been way worse crimes and like
Wait, what is
people.
it called when? What is that called when someone is placing a bet where they have interaction with, or that they're possibly affecting the results? What is it
Oh,
called?
oh,
Rigging.
they're like rigging the games. Yeah, yeah.
So that is my biggest, like, bro. The fact that people can gamble on their own games. You really think? Because it's not about, oh, I'm gonna play better and I'm gonna win. No, they're gonna lose intentionally. What happens if gambling becomes so problematic that the player's family, friends, or whatever says, "Hey, bro, if you lose this game, I make 100,000 bucks and I'll give you 50,000."
Shit, I got you, bro. Bob. Well, first of all, a crazy thought because these players are literally like millionaires. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? But yeah, exactly. By the way, match fixing, I looked it up really quick because I was
Yeah.
curious. Match fixing is something that's always been discussed, especially like sports that looks like we don't even need a ref. Like we have the technology to kind of help us out in certain aspects. I know baseball is the one that they usually discuss, but but dude, football is literally a sport where a guy, black and white, from far away on the field has to
Mhm.
judge where the ball is. And he's just like, it was here. Let's go next play. And people bet on it. And like that's not even talking about like what happens if your player gets injured. You said they were going to score a touchdown that game, they get injured, bro,
Injured, by the
deuces.
way. Injured.
See,
And dude, like the match fixing is just so easy to do as a player. As someone associated to the player, you cannot tell me there is no match fixing at the current state of the game. It is so unlikely that there has not already been match fixing to the extent of, oh well, you're gonna drop this many, or you just gotta miss the ball one time, bro.
yeah.
It's not hard, dude, and that is my biggest qualms with it, because it is something that's humanly being affected. So if a human is creating an action that'll lead to a result that'll cause the gamble to work in one favor or another,
Hmm.
you cannot tell me that people are not going to be persuaded by the potential money you can make.
Yeah.
They're millionaires. You're right.
Yep.
What if I bet a quarter million and make a
Yep.
million?
Yep.
I'll give you 500,000, bro. Uh, Dude, I always imagine the rich kind of like dragons or goblins, where it doesn't matter how much they. So to
Oh,
say
hold
that,
on.
yeah, that well, we pay them really well, so they're never gonna do it. It's just like, dude, come on, dude.
You're like Mike peaked during that part. I don't think it like recorded that. Sorry.
Oh,
It
dude,
sucks. Sorry. I saw you. I
the
saw you.
rich, the rich are like goblins or dragons, where it doesn't matter how much wealth they have, they just want more. They want more, and then they want more, and they want more.
By the way, going into match fixing, it like if people were skeptical of like a match fix happening
Mhm,
and then the refs or the game plays out where a situation is literally decided by like a flag or like an outside source, you're just kind of
mhm.
like, if I didn't know any better, I think that's match fixing. But the fact is, you watch and consume it so much that you're starting to be like, dude, this is just like that other time. This is like that other time.
Yeah,
And now you have the NFL being like, please get DraftKings, bet on our games. By the way, betting on our games illegal in most states. However, you can get away with it if you prop bet because prop bet is skilled betting. Like if a player is going to do a certain amount of rushing yards and such like
it
that.
yeah, it's
So
think about the refs, bro. Realistically, do you really think the refs are match fixing? Dude, like it's just too easy. It really is. As a ref,
yeah,
to get a friend
yeah.
to run the bids for you or run the gambles for you, it's not hard. I just feel super suspicious of the whole situation, and because of that, because it is a human action, right? If it wasn't a human action, if it was something that is non-human controlled, or something that a human has no awareness that there's such a gamble, right? That is what would feel more comfortable on, because it's it can be affected by someone too, or it can be altered. That's the best way to describe it,
Yeah.
for that to happen, kind of thing.
Like
So
for reference, people always complain when people play blackjack in a machine because they're like, it's a machine. It was going to make you lose eventually. That way they
yeah,
always win? And then people
yeah,
will argue like, well then be at a table. And it's like, well, if you're at a table, they know how to shuffle correctly, and then they're going to mess up your hand, right? That that is a common thought for a lot of people. You know
yeah,
what isn't a common thought? What if the ref has money on this game? What if the player has that? You know what I mean? And that blows my
yeah,
mind because anyone who's played blackjack, whether it be the machine or the table, you've
yeah.
had those thoughts. You're like, no way I busted 8 times in a row. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know the machine is rigged. You know the games are rigged against you, but you want to gamble because you're thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna make so much. I'm gonna make so much money.
It,
I'm gonna be so rich, bro." And those thoughts, those sayings, are from a poor man's perspective.
yeah. And and it's so funny because my perspective on blackjack, anytime someone tells me like the machine or tables are rigged, I'm like, I mean, I come out on positive, so. But you know what I don't come out positive on? Sports gambling. Don't touch that. Don't
Oh,
touch that. Also slot machines. What's
yeah.
up with that? Don't get me started. Don't get me
Oh,
started. Anyways, I will say this. I just think you made a good point earlier because when I think about a match fix, I used to think the player's perspective, like I want to win this or like we're gonna make more money this way. But technically, what are the
you make
refs
more money
losing?
losing, bro.
Yeah,
You make so much more money losing.
yeah.
It's just, I'm not a fan of there being gambling in the sports. I wish they would be removed. The thing is, and something that's constantly mentioned, the reason the sports leagues like the NBA, the NFL, and stuff like that, they want to have gambling in their sports because more people watch their sports when there's gambling involved. The WNBA, right, is growing in attention because of Caitlin Clark, but that's not the only reason the WNBA was gaining popularity. It's because now you can gamble on even the WNBA. So every game, everything can be enjoyed as a gambler.
Yeah.
But if you're not gambling, you're just like scrolling through, like watching, and you're like, I don't really know this team. Let's say you're watching baseball or whatever, right? And I don't really know this team. And you're like, oh, the NFL? I'm not a big fan of the NFL. A gambler, on the other hand, would be like, oh, the MLB is going on right now. Let me I don't really trust those. Maybe I'll try the NFL. Oh, that team is playing. Yo, I bet on that team last time. I bet they win again. And then you place a bid, and then you're watching the rest of the game.
Yeah.
You're watching the rest of it. You're not even tuning out. You're tuned in. Super, like, I am here for the next hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours. If there's a pause or whatever, like that person is committed the moment they put a single dollar on the game.
Yeah.
And that is crazy. That's why the sports leagues want betting to be in the sports, because they benefit from it in the sense of viewership. And then they get to sell more ad space. And then they get to sell more ad space to the gambling companies because they have more people watching it. And they get to increase their numbers. And then they get to increase too, because now they have more gamblers, so they can spend more on buying more ad space. It's a cycle. And who's the real sucker? The consumers. So
Yeah. And it's rough, man. It's rough. I've seen people be like, "Hey, I get paid Friday, and then I'm gonna bet on Friday because they got that promo. It is gonna go crazy."
oh
And I'm like, "You
man,
do this
bro.
every Friday? Like, you don't understand it's ticking." And they're like, it's just a little bit." But then it adds on, and the next thing you know,
Yeah. It's like food, right? You're buying a snack or you're buying fast food, and then instead of buying fast food, you're betting. But
No, I don't know.
you know,
All right, guys, that's gonna be it from us. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
guys, we are uploading on Spotify and YouTube, whatever you prefer watching it on. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching episode 8. Did you think we are gonna get this far?
I It was like if we go past the week, I'm like, oh damn, we're actually making moves. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Now that
If
we're
you came
past the
from
week, I
our
think it
short,
is.
if you came from our short and you made it this long, how long have we been recording?
30 minutes?
If you've made it to the 30-minute mark, make sure to type. You're gonna say a word.
What?
Type what in the comments,
I hate
but
this
make sure to
guy.
type it. Make sure to type it the way Hypey said it. Otherwise, it doesn't count.
All right, guys. Oh, that's probably rough on the mic. I'll adjust it. Don't worry, guys. You heard nothing. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys next time.